And this is a beautiful scene from Maryland. And if you want to learn how to paint a beautiful sunset in acrylics, this is the video for you. So let's jump into it. So I start with a orange background. Now it's bright, it's colorful, and we're just setting the stage for this. But you'll notice that I'm going to do a gradation up on the upper part of this painting. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to paint the background sky first, but I'm going to do it in a couple stages. And I'm going to dry this because part of this is I need to get the first coat done on that orange and then start with multiple layers, because the brilliance of the yellow you can already see becoming greater and the sky just becoming a little bit brighter with the second coat. But I still like having the orange under there, just because if there is anything that shines through, it's not going to be pure white. It's going to be something that blends back there a little bit more, and that bright orange will influence it a little bit. Also, you can see that I'm just trying to make that a nice smooth gradation. I'm going to come back on top with the clouds and different things, but this is layers upon layers. And the fun thing here is that I can use this tape, and you can use this once the paint is dry. In acrylics, it's pretty quick, a few minutes, and the paint will be dry, and you can do something like this. So I'm starting on the lower half with a nice straight edge there that I don't have to worry about because the tape is going to provide that. I can just look at the shapes of the waves and this, foreground sand in the very bottom left corner, and then I can also start working on this reflection. You can see I'm mixing up a yellowish orange and starting to establish where are the waves and the flat areas where we can see this reflection a little bit more. And it's nice and simple in a way, because all I'm doing is looking at where there are darker parts in the picture and where there are these nice reflections. And there's kind of a violet blue in the wave, and you can see I'm starting to mix up something that's a little bit more blue-green, a little bit more blue-violet, and we're just adding enough color so that it describes that, yes, this is a wave. But if you look at the actual reference photo, you'll notice that it's quite subtle. There's not a lot of color down in the waves, so I'm trying to keep it subdued a little bit, even though I am an exaggerator and I do like to draw out as much color as possible. But the sky now is our area of interest. We already, have the basic structure of this painting in place, but we need to now start getting the sky looking more like it is. And so I'm putting down that tape again because this works so well in the bottom part. Why not just keep going with it? And it just allows us to paint down close to that edge without having to be really overly careful. And that just frees us to make bigger brush strokes and think about like the shape of the clouds without worrying if I ever am going to touch the bottom edge, which I probably wouldn't have anyways. But some of this is just ease of mind and ease of the not worrying about my brush strokes ever getting across the other edge. I'm mixing up, trying to keep these colors accurate. There's a glow on the bottom half of these clouds. And so one of the things that you want to think through with clouds is how you have in this case, there's a shadow side, and normally we'd think of shadows on the bottom, but because the sun is so low on the horizon, the shadow side of the clouds, the darker side of the clouds, is actually the upper side of these clouds. And the bottom edge is where it's getting the light from the sun as it's shining up on it. So we're trying to show that variation and, where are the clouds? Where do the clouds have a little bit of form? Where can we see that they're three-dimensional? They're not just flat. And so we're working on that with the way that the light shapes them. One thing to remember is that you have the shadow side, you have a half tone, and then you have the highlight. If you can remember that works well for things like clouds. It also works for things like trees. So you just kind of like keep this part of the picture or of the object where you don't want to do them in thirds, but if you keep those three places, shadow, halftone, and then the highlight, and make one of them about 3/4 of the object and limit the other ones to 1/4, and you're gonna have a pretty good idea of the subject taking form. Now I'm coming in and you see I couldn't hold back from adding a little bit more color down to this reflection and to the waves down in the bottom. Just, we'll see how it turns out. You can be the judge if it should have been more subdued or not. But again, I love color and I guess I just couldn't hold back. But what's more important really are the values. And you can see that I'm working on the shadow edge of that wave. It's not a real, big wave at this point. It's just kind of rolling in a little bit, but that shadow edge gives it just enough definition that we can see, oh, that's the foamy edge of a wave right there. And again, it's why values matter so much. You probably have heard people say, colors get the credit, but values do the work. And it's very true. A lot of this is putting a bit of color down there. It's adding a little bit of interest. But if your values are not working well, it really doesn't matter how pretty the colors are. But we're getting to this highlight. And if you know me, I like to add the highlights more toward the end of a painting. And so much of the work of the painting is just getting ready for this final stage where we're adding in what seems like, oh, this glorious light. But 90% of the work is done in preparation for the highlights. And that's why in art, I believe it's very helpful if you can be patient with the process and work in stages and build your painting up in layers so that you're not trying to get the highlights in right at the beginning. You want to start with your darks, you want to work towards your midtones, and you want to end with more of your highlights. It also looks good if your darks are thinner and more transparent and your lights are more opaque and thicker. It just visually reads better. So again, these are little tips. They apply to more than just this painting, but they're helpful to remember when you are working on a piece. And you can see that the top edges of these waves are just glistening, just a little bit with that light shining right down on them. And it's important, again, to get those waves the right value, not too bright, not too dark. I had to lighten them up a little bit from what they were, but they're still showing that it's a wave curling over and the highlight is on the top. We're just gonna finish up a few of the details here. I'm gonna put in a couple little birds in the end here with a small brush because every sunset can use a little bird and that always makes things nicer. But it does add a nice little focal point to this painting. Guys, this is Maryland. It is part of the Paint Across America series. If you would like to participate in it and see the full tutorials, go to paintacrossamerica.com. And I really thank you for joining me here. This is the final painting. Please leave me a comment or a question and I'll be happy to answer them in a future video. We'll see you next time.